What do you stand to gain in your life after bariatric surgery? No pun intended. Today, I am going to share my top 5 biggest and best non-scale victories after weight loss surgery. If you want to see what awaits you in life post-op or what your life vision could look like after weight loss surgery, this video is for you. For my newbies, hi, I am Chelsea. I'm a bariatric coach, but I'm also a bariatric patient. I had VSG 5.5 years ago. This platform is all about bringing you magic to bring you back to your sense of self, your sparkle, and to educate you on all things pre and post-op weight loss surgery. But we also sprinkle in mamahood. I have a 9-year-old daughter, as well as travel. We love Disney around here. If this sounds like you, I hope you will hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, tell me something about yourself, something that we share, like this video, do all of the free, fun, and engaging things. To start, let's define a non-scale victory. A non-scale victory is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's a win, big or small, that happens in your life post-op that has nothing to do with your weight or a number specifically on a scale. Non-scale. As both a patient and a bariatric coach, I know for sure that long-term success after surgery means that we have to celebrate every single non-scale victory. Every single one. Yep, all of them. And the beauty of this is that they happen every darn day. For example, I was talking to one of my Glow Getters members this week, and I commented on how I liked her red sweater, and she said this was her first off-the-rack purchase from a store that she just happened to walk into. Non-scale victory, and a really exciting and relatable one. So I wanted to share my top 5 life-changing non-scale victories with you so that you can see what's possible after surgery. I'm going to try to vary these so that they are relatable, but I'd love to know, out of the 5 I'm sharing, which one resonates with you most. Let's jump in. These are in no particular order, okay? I tearfully shared in last week's video that from my heaviest weight, waking up in the morning and getting out of bed was a chore. It was painful. All I wanted to do from the moment that I opened my eyes was just go back to bed. Because all I really felt comfortable doing in that size body was like sitting or laying. Every other position of being hurt. If you've never been morbidly obese, this probably sounds super dramatic. And yes, I am a dramatic person, but I mean it. Every minute of the day, I was in pain of some kind. And I don't mean immovable, drastic, have to take particular prescription kind of pain. I just mean that I was like sore and achy going through regular daily motions. I woke up most days exhausted from a cycle of like caffeine, alcohol, fatty foods, not sleeping well. And from the moment that my feet hit the floor, I was in pain. My joints ached. My feet like physically hurt, like the bones in my feet, my ankles, and good Lord, my knees. My knees always hurt. My post-surgery recovery has led to a decrease in pain in all of those areas, to the point where I trained for and ran a 7-mile race, like a globally known 7-mile race. And that desire to run, that like I want to run mindset came from an appreciation for being in less pain and having more energy. I had this new mobility in my life after surgery, and I wanted to celebrate that. So running was the platform for doing that. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to pretend it's like the Barbie world montage, but I don't have to see like where I'm sore or move slowly for fear that I'm gonna pop, crack, or break something. I simply wake up traditionally with energy because I sleep better. I don't have to toss and turn to prevent like aches in my hips and lower back anymore. So I wake up with more energy because I've slept well, and I can get out of bed to start my morning routine, which I actually do look forward to. And side note, I take way less Tylenol now. That's such a small notice, but for someone who used Tylenol, like I popped pain relievers without question. Like the smallest ache would arise and 2 to 4 Tylenol extra strength went in my mouth. Now I don't do that, and I get less headaches because I'm hydrated, like actually hydrated. So when I do need to take Tylenol, I kind of work back, like, why am I feeling this? And if I can identify that, like, obviously I want to alleviate the pain, but I'm just taking it like a handful of times a year as opposed to regularly, like daily. When I think about the amount of pain relievers that I used to take, I worry about my organs. Like, I worry about that for my future. A second impactful non-scale victory is going to be niche, but I know you're out there, my high achieving women, and you'll understand. It's this. It's you. It's building a YouTube following. It's showing up on social media without makeup on and showing my body in bathing suit photos. It's coaching, being able to support women at every stage of this journey. It's building something for me that aligns with my values and passion. I have always been, since I was a child, a multi-passionate person. And it used to really bother me that I didn't know how to like blend what I loved to do together. I have always known that I would never have like a single career track where I work at one thing for 40 years because I want to explore all the areas that I love. And there are just so many, like one seems impossible to focus on. I feel like I would be missing out. But I didn't have the energy or even the confidence to like pursue more than what I knew I was steadily good at. And after surgery, I thought, what if I just tried? What if I just tried? Like, what if I just shared my journey, helped support and make other women feel not alone through the bariatric process, and then researched how could I actually start coaching? How could I reach out to other women to work with them to help them succeed long term? What if I just tried? Now, these thoughts did not arise and pop into my brain when I awoke fresh from surgery in the hospital with a sore tummy. These happened in small successions, like little nuggets of wisdom over a year, 18 months, 2 years post-op. I put out that first video and felt validated that so many people wanted to know more about my journey. So then I started adding it to my social media. Then I started researching how could I bariatric coach and get clients. And then I built a digital course. So like these things are happening intentionally, just slowly, because I want to put out the best products that I can. One of my clients said something super profound to me last week. She said, because she feels like I do, that she just wants more from her life. And now she's able to go after it because her career, her place of work is not the only place of success for her anymore. That like blew my mind, right? All of my brain space used to be taken up with thoughts of my body and my job. Besides like being a mom, of course. But my job was a real focus for me because that's where I felt success. I didn't feel successful with weight loss, but I felt validated success at work. Now, I feel like I have a really high barometer for what success means to me, but I achieve it in so many areas of my life that I can add to ways for me to be high achieving and successful on my own terms. So what she said really resonated with me, and I hope that that makes sense to you too. I used to only feel really successful in my job and with my own education because there's such clear parameters around how to succeed, so I knew how to overachieve in those areas. And I felt like I needed to overachieve to compensate for my body being so awful, disgusting, fat. That's how I felt about it. So I want to still overachieve. That's a part of who I am, I think. But I get to do it on my own terms. We've built this together. So thank you. Thank you for letting me talk to you, for showing up in the comments, for being on my email list, for reaching out to me, for asking questions. Like, thank you. I couldn't have built this quite literally without you. Course plug. If you're nodding your head along with me here and you're like, Chels, you are speaking my language. This is exactly how I'm feeling too. Your inner monologue tells you, I know I'm meant for more, but I don't know how to get myself unstuck from the place where I am right now. My course, Mindset Mastery, is currently open for enrollment, but only until Wednesday. Mindset Mastery is an online digital course with 4 modules and 14 lessons that I built to compile all of my best knowledge in an organized framework to help you get from where you are right now to the best possible version of you, whether you're pre-op, post-op, on a GLP-1. It's all mindset oriented. So that way, when you come out of the course, you have the mindset to succeed forever. You are going to eliminate your mean girl voice. You're going to work with her, not against her, before the end of this course. You're going to eliminate your diet mindset, establish new coping mechanisms that don't have anything to do with food, identify and release your limiting beliefs. Like, you are going to be a different person a month from now after you've completed this course. I will leave a link to sign up in the description box below. But don't waste any time here. This is your life. It's 2025. We're only a few weeks in. Are you willing to put in the work to be the person you've always wanted to be? If the answer is enthusiastically yes, or yes, I'm a little bit scared, but I want to do it anyway because you're so brave, this course is for you. I could go on and on. This is like my love letter present for you, is this course. There's 2 tracks. There's an independent study. If you're really busy and you want to do this on your own time, it doesn't have to take just a month. You could take all year to do it. That's totally fine, as long as you're doing the work. And then there's a VI Pixie where you get to work with me. So check it out. It's in the description box. My third non-scale victory is a part of me that has always lived inside me, but I was too afraid to share it with the world. And it's my sense of adventure. We're going on a little bit of an English teacher journey here, okay? I have always connected with certain female archetypes, certain female characters, because of their bravery and courage. Like, I really resonate with that and feel it if I'm watching a movie or reading a book. Like, I get emotional about that because I knew that she lived in me, but I just couldn't bring her out because I felt like my big body couldn't possibly be adventurous in public. You know that scene in Beauty and the Beast? Now, I'm not saying in 2025 that Beauty and the Beast is it, but as a little girl watching a movie with a princess who has brown hair and loves to read, Belle and I, we get each other. But there's a scene in Beauty and the Beast where Belle is running from her village to this field, and the music slows down and crescendos, and she sings, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. I want it more than I can tell. I felt that in my soul as a child. I felt it. And even now, thinking about it, not even watching it, but thinking about it can make me emotional because I too want adventure in the great wide somewhere of my choosing. And now I finally get to have it. I love dystopian books or fantasy books where your female leads have to battle some type of social norm. Are you seeing the therapy and the psychology here? And they have to do it unprepared, scared, whatever it may be, and they do it anyway. Into the Unknown is my favorite Disney song, Chelsea Trivia. And Moana's Call to the Sea, come on. Come on! I knew these women lived in me, but I felt like I couldn't have these types of experiences or adventures because it wasn't safe for my body. Someone was going to ask me how much I weighed in order to get in some type of harness or on a tube or something, that I would be laughed at publicly. I would have to fit into smaller spaces and travel uncomfortably. There were all these little elements that now are huge non-scale victories, but allow me to live out my fantasy adventures. Since surgery, I have mountain tubed through a cave system in Hawaii. I've bridge jumped. That is me in today's Instagram post on Instagram, I am jumping off a bridge into the ocean. I've gone to a yoga retreat all by myself. I have fit on multiple roller coasters. Hagrid's is my favorite. And yeah, I'm a Disney girl, but that roller coaster blows all Disney roller coasters out of the water. I've cold plunged into the sea on New Year's Day for many years now, for several years in a row, into the salt water January here in the Northeast. I've gone down tube slides, right? I fit safely into tube slides. And currently on the docket for 2025 is spelunking, rappelling down a waterfall in the Azores. I finally get to seek out the thrills that I knew I could do. And the alignment feels so good because I feel so alive during these adventures. You may be like, girl, these are not the adventures for me. I just feel like my peak self when I'm a little bit scared and I do something and then get to have this amazing experience as a takeaway. Oh, I forgot one. I ziplined through a Jamaican jungle. Add that to the adventure list. Now, I've been thinking between you and me about potentially skydiving. Is that like a heck yes or a reckless no? What's on your adventure list for 2025? It doesn't have to be any of the same things that I'm doing, but I would love to know what your adventure seeker self says. Yes, we're doing this year. My fourth favorite life-changing non-scale victory is related to my addictions. I've broken the generational trauma that comes with obesity. Unfortunately, obesity is not isolated to the person that's living that experience. It is often passed down and on and comes with a myriad of health concerns, of health problems that also are passed down and on. I get to be the one for my little family that says, nope, we've stopped this, and those components of obesity are no longer being tracked from here on out. From here on, future generations, that I get to say, I did it, I fixed that. In this house, food is not a controlled substance. In this house, we do not have restrictions on food. In this house, we don't do diets. In this house, we value strength and health over pant size and scale numbers. In this house, we do not put food up on a proverbial pedestal to worship at the altar of dieting. We simply do not. I want my daughter to be someone when she's a grown-up who says, I'm someone who's never been on a diet. In my first ever video on my weight loss surgery journey, I shared my why. 9 years later, Callie is still the reason. She is still my why, and I come back to her quite a bit because of this non-scale victory. When I think about my habits and what I'm showing rather than telling her, that's what I want her to take away. I want her to have the experience of watching me respect my body, listen to my body, know what it's capable of, so then she mirrors those behaviors too. Breaking generational trauma around obesity means that you are addressing deep-rooted issues around food and body image. I think it starts with a culture of creating communication, open communication around emotions like stress and anxiety, because those are often triggers to then use food in ways that we emotionally should not, right? We're using food to fill voids. So instead, how can we talk and work through them? So there are multiple components here. It's not just about saying, I'm no longer obese, therefore she will no longer be obese, right? It's bigger than that. My goal is to create a legacy of wellness for Callie. I want to promote for her confidence and health and strength for years to come. For me too, but especially for my daughter. And lastly, the biggie are my mental and emotional wins. When I tell you how my body image perception has changed since surgery, when I tell you I suffered from BDD, body dysmorphic disorder, before surgery. So to sit here today and tell you that not only have I worked through that, but I can look at my body with an appreciation and self-acceptance for the vessel that carries me around every day is everything I wanted 5.5+ years ago. So for so long of being in that body, this feeling, this mental state is exactly what I hoped for. The freedom in my mind is like wild. I do not find myself thinking about my actual body or food. Like the food noise is gone. One pre-op memory that I have is being in my little blue car. It was a Nissan Versa. Her name was Vic's Versa. And I was driving and I looked down at my legs and I was wearing jeans. And I remember thinking, like feeling this anxiety and stress because my legs were like so smushed together. They just looked like one wide jean leg because the seat was small. And yeah, I was in a bigger body. But I felt so stressed looking down and seeing my own fat, like recognizing my own body size. And then in a moment later, remembering, oh, Chelsea, you're on a diet, so you're fixing the problem right now. And that alleviated some of the stress for me. Like my anxiety and stress levels were only at bay, kept at bay when I was on a diet. I had to be on a diet to keep my mindset stable, which didn't work because the diet would end up not working. And then I would eat for my own emotions and gain more weight than I had just lost being on that diet. And I would begin this shameful cycle all over again. But my mind was like just 3 million zillion bouncy balls ping-ponging all over the place, all of them negative, all of them filled with some kind of dread, anxiety, stress, embarrassment, shame, feeding me really mean messages and then only ever feeling like I was in control when I was on a diet. That is disordered eating. It sucks to live like that. It took me years to acknowledge this. I went to therapy for years with a bunch of different therapists to figure out how to control this. I journaled, I meditated, I started a yoga practice. I did all the things to try to address this on my own. And it took a super long time and cost me a ton of money because I was paying out of pocket for like every individual activity that I was using to try to help me. This, hands down, was the hardest part of life post-op because no matter how much weight I lost, when I looked in the mirror, the mindset of you're still fat, you still have more to lose, lingered. So if I didn't fix my mindset, I couldn't appreciate the body I was in and build up to the confidence that I have now. And again, this is exactly what my course addresses. Mindset Mastery was built to help you go from where I was and maybe where you are mentally and emotionally to where I am now, but not in 5 years, in like a month, if that is the track you choose. Again, you have lifetime access to this course when you sign up for it, so you could do this over the course of years, but you don't need to. The modules are dropped 1 per week over the course of 4 weeks, so you simply could do this work in a month and work toward the whole of 2025 like being your best year yet. I want you to have this. Celebrating your non-scale victories is absolutely essential to your long-term success. It shifts the focus from the weight, right? The number on the scale to your overall wellness and joy, like your fulfillment. We love your well-being and personal growth. NSVs are the way to get there post-op. By recognizing your own wins, you are gonna build your self-esteem, which means you can trust yourself, you'll have more confidence, and that is going to start quieting the other food noise and the mean girl thoughts that are also your bouncy balls in your brain. You can do this, my beautiful friend. You are so capable. The link to Mindset Mastery is in the description box, and I hope you will seriously consider investing in yourself this year. If you found this video helpful, I hope you will like it, subscribe, leave a comment, click on the Mindset Mastery link, tell me what you think. I would love to know about your 2025 adventures, and I hope to see you inside Mindset Mastery and we can work together to help you get to your best version of yourself. I love you. I'm rooting for you. And I will see you inside Mindset Mastery and next week, same time, same place. Goodbye, my strong, beautiful, capable friend.